So, bad relationship advice to black women? Coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense Logic Reason. And as always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So, black females in the United States of America have the lowest marriage rates of any demographic group in the country. Well, a woman who's been identified as active comedian D.L. Hughley's daughter took to the internet to give relationship advice to black women.
You know, back when I was still having sex with men who wore Adidas slides and dirty white socks, you know the ones. I wish I could tell me then that I'd be married to like a whole ass pediatrician sitting outside in our backyard by the fire he built me drinking an old fashioned, waiting for him to come downstairs to join me because he's putting our kids to bed. Marry the nerd.
Now, apparently her advice that she's giving is based off of her life. You know, she said that she messed around with the Dusties, the guys with the dirty socks, I believe, or whatever. But she didn't marry them. She married the nerd. And basically, she came under fire for men because men were going after her for this post that she put up. Whereas in, black female, they were basically supporting her, saying, well, isn't it good advice, right? Is she telling women to marry the nerds instead of the pookies and way-ways and the dudes with the swag? Well, actually, no. In reality, this is horrible advice that she's giving to black females. Again, it's most of the black females are the ones who are going to listen to this. But what she's trying to do is she's trying to turn a negative into a virtue, something that Donovan Sharp is known for saying. And all she did here was she repackaged an old narrative and tried to resell it as something different. Basically, the story that she gave is that, like I say, ladies, don't mess with, you mess with the nerds. You mess with these dudes, where you sleep around with these dudes, but you don't marry them. You marry the nerds. That's the message she gave, as if these hood dudes, these dudes with the swags, were marrying black women in droves. But in reality, this is more likely the true story, how the story really goes. These women, when they're young and in their prime, and when they're best, as far as appearance goes, they mess with the dudes, with the hood dudes, the dudes with the swags, with the pookies and rays, the Chad and Tyrones, as we say. And they'll get ran through, as the line goes. And then as they get older, start to approach the wall, and they don't garner the attention from these guys they used to, then they want to basically deal with the so-called nerds, or the guys that they didn't want to deal with, the guys who didn't have swag. Now they want to deal with those guys. And essentially, that's, like I said, all she did was repackage the story and act as if women are doing this great favor to these nerds. Now, the real problem with this, though, is red pill. Red pill is the real problem with this narrative that she's pushing out. And a red pill is here to stay. I know a lot of women don't like red pill. There's a lot of leftists don't like it, but the red pill is not going anywhere for anyone. There's an old saying, there's no idea that whose time has come that can be stopped. No one can stop an idea whose time has come, not even standing armies. And red pill is that ideal. And then red pill has been really educating men and teaching men about female nature in mass for, I would say, at least maybe the last 10 years. And now, as men are starting to be educated and understand female nature, they're not falling for this anymore. And a lot of men are just opting out of relationships in general. And this is why you hear, these women making these videos, well, where are the good men? They're here, they just opting out. They just don't want to be bothered, right? We hear about all of these singles events, and 90+% of the people at these singles events are women. Men just aren't showing up. Right? I hear stories that nightclubs are starting to suffer now because men aren't going. And of course, men are the ones who typically buy all the drinks and stuff. Well, men aren't going, and now the nightclubs are starting to suffer. Why? Because, like I say, men are learning and men are being educated, and they're opting out of this nonsense. The guy, these so-called nerds are saying, "Well, wait a minute. You didn't want me when you were younger, in your prime, but now you want me. You want me now? Well, no, no thanks. I'll pass on that." So this is why her advice is horrible, and why she was attacked by men, and why her advice is just simply going to keep women single, especially black women. Now, maybe before Red Pill, this would have been a good message, maybe 15, 20 plus years ago, that message would have worked, but it's just not working now because, again, Red Pill is basically educating and making and putting out a bunch of men who are a lot wiser and not a lot more knowledgeable about this female nature. So instead of her coming out and saying, "Hey, ladies, don't mess with the Pukas and the Rarys at all. Get with the nerds from the beginning," she tells them to get with the marry the nerds after they're finished being ran through by the Pukas and Rarys. And as I say, as if these Pukas and Rarys were marrying them in droves. But anyway, y'all, that's my 2 cents on this. Her advice was horrible, and it's all it's going to do is just continue to aid, and the black women have the lowest rate of marriages of any demographic in America. And as always, y'all, until next time.